Yo, what is going on? Back with my man, Bills writer, Wolfo 1080, Mile Powers 96.5, Mookie Hawkins in the building.
What's good? What's good? What's good, JT?
Now, we
Day
told you
two.
we told him we may be back tonight. So we ain't made no guarantees, but some things happen today, as we said. If some things happen, we'll be back. And guess what? A couple things went down in camp day 2 practice. The
Yeah, a
Bills.
lot of things went down in camp today. I guess that's what's gonna be happening every day. So I don't know. We might have to give it to them every day. You know,
I'm
get
gonna have to
things
let Clay. I'm
confirmed.
gonna have to let Clayton Garrett get here one night, man. I can't keep up with you. Can't keep up with you, Mook. I'm tired. Tired. But no, I mean, so we're gonna break down camp day 2. We want to make sure that y'all getting into the conversation tonight. Just like we did that last night, getting the conversation. Tiffany Nicole Green, what's up? Elite Sports over there, anti-bullying campaign. I see you, Harley Bills. Walter Ford, what is going on? Go Bills, how you doing? Billy Stevens is back in the building. Billy, how are you? Jesse, how you doing? I wonder how Christian Wade doing camp so far. I'll let Mookie touch on that today. We're gonna talk about Christian Wade. All right. Over man from the overseas. James B. Lock, what's going on? What's good? Bills Mafia, what is going on? So, guys, make sure to keep leaving your comments and your opinions, and your questions in the chat, and we're gonna get to them tonight. Mook, Bills rundown day 2. We had a couple injuries today.
Yeah, we had a couple of injuries today. I mean, good thing Levi Wallace returned to practice after nursing a sore back, and for whatever reason, Ty Nsekhe was out yesterday. He was back at practice as well. Voshan Joseph and Isaiah Hodgins continue to wear the red jerseys, but they do participate in team activities. Gabe Davis, the rookie, he sat out with a leg bruise today, but he should be fine. He had a great day yesterday. Tommy Sweeney and John Feliciano, we know, are out on the PUP list, and Feliciano is out for the next 2 to 3 months. But new guys on the injury report: Robert Foster is in concussion protocol. We have to keep you, posted on that. Just a guy who, year in, year out, just can't, catch a break in reference to, always getting an injury bug, during training camp season. So, here's a guy that's trying to fight for a spot. And, he's been pretty much Dable's guy since day one coming in, from Alabama. So, that I don't know what's going on with that experiment right now, but it's not good for him to be, on the injury side of things, with this pandemic of trying to evaluate players at such a short time, basically with 3 weeks, before the season starts. So, that's something to definitely keep an eye out on. And, we just first and foremost, we just hope he's okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's year 2 in a row. I mean, last year we came into camp. I mean, I picked Robert Foster last year as my breakout player. And I actually made a bet. I don't even remember what I bet, but I would have lost. I would bet that he would get 1,000 yards receiving last year. I don't remember what I put on it. Somebody could find that. I'll pay up. I was dead wrong on that. I don't even know he got 100 yards receiving.
I mean, it was promising for him last year. It was a lot of promise for him last year. He was that deep threat guy. That was he was supposed to be the deep threat guy, but he got hurt. So once that happens, then you try to get back in, and he just couldn't catch up, and here we are again with him. Training camp starting, and he's already in concussion protocol. So this is definitely a step back in the direction I'm quite sure that Robert Foster didn't. Nobody wants to be in, but this is an important year for him.
Okay. Well, I mean, but another big injury is Pat DeMarco being out.
Yeah,
and
Pat
obviously, now did you before we get into his injury and him missing time and who his replacement may end up being? Did you see him as a potential cut going into the season because of his cap?
Yeah. Well, you look at all those guys who has that high cap number, and then you look at the numbers and they don't add up. You got guys like Trent Murphy. Definitely. DeMarco was one of those guys. Starla Tulele, he was one of those guys till he restructured. So those 3 guys were like, okay, salary cap casualties. Who do we get in to compete for a spot for those guys? And one guy that's taking advantage of those reps right now is undrafted free agent, your guy, Reggie Gilliam out of Toledo, man.
My guy.
Next man up, DeMarco was out, and he's experienced some soreness in his neck area, and it's always got to be precautions, when you're dealing with the head and neck and football. So, it's only it's only two fullbacks on the roster. So, right now Reggie Gilliam is, enjoying life right now at One Bills Drive, and he's making a name for himself. He had a nice catch, in coverage over AJ Klein. So there's a guy that's definitely trying to battle for a roster spot, and you making plays over a seasoned vet like AJ Klein is one way to keep your name buzzing in camp.
Okay, no, you know what, and like I said, Reggie Gilliam is my guy. If you guys don't know much about Reggie Gilliam from Toledo, you better go look up some film. I mean, this guy is a special team demon, and I think that he actually would be more versatile in the offensive game than Pat DeMarco, or more than Pat DeMarco was in the last previous seasons. I mean, this is a guy who can actually play fullback and tight end.
Mm-hmm. He's a hybrid guy, so
yeah,
that's he has some athleticism there, and that's something that we need out of that position. We need some athleticism. Now, don't get me wrong, DeMarco is a beast, and he proved that early on. But right now, he's on that wrong side of 30. I mean, it's a youth movement going on, and Reggie Gilliam right now is starting to surprise some people early in camp.
Yeah, no, you know what? Actually, James Bilek says Gilliam is going to make it on the roster. I've been saying, I mean, what did he have? 6 block kicks in college, Toledo?
Something like that, 4 or 6.
Yeah.
I know he had a lot. He had something that made the numbers stand out. I know that for sure. And
right.
And that's another guy, like we said, another special teams demon. They better look out for this Bills special teams this year. They're going to be very stout. They're going to be very stout.
It's funny because my coach from the Yak podcast, James Mallory, his brother Terrell Ford played at Toledo with Gilliam, and when the Bills signed him as undrafted, the first thing he said is, "Yo, this boy can play some ball. Watch out for him." So,
sure, Terrell Ford can play some ball. We're gonna bring him in for
we're gonna keep that on the, we're gonna keep that on the hush. We're gonna slip on that one. Like, hey man,
Robert Foster is down, so they might have to bring in another wide real quick.
You got one more. He got one more year. Got one more year down there at Clarion. Right. Got one more year at Clarion. We're gonna keep that on the hush about Terrell.
Classified. Keep him G14.
Yeah. We're gonna But no. So any other injuries? We got a couple questions here about how did Harrison Phillips doing? I know Harrison coming back from injury. Did he look strong? Did you hear?
Well, that whole defensive line looked strong today. I mean, it was just enough and enough. Yesterday, everybody was talking about how good the offense was looking. And I don't think the defense like that now, but it kind of ticked some players off. And honestly, that defensive line was really getting after it today. And, Mari Anderson went out and showed everybody why the Bills brought him in today, what he was doing, letting the dog be a dog and individuals and during 11-on-11s. It was just a dog, just all over the place. So
right.
That was something good to see. And the defense as a whole. Micah Hyde had an interception back to the crib where he lived, and Josh Norman continues to shine and camp with just getting his hands on a lot of things out there on the field. So. Yeah, and that was great. I said before, if you don't watch tape on Micah Hyde, just see how he really disguised things. Him and Poyer are probably some of the most masterful guys on disguising looks and how they roll into coverage at the last minute. They really hold things together at the last minute, and next they just appear. So, and one of the best in the game that don't get a lot of credit for, you know what I mean?
Right.
And hey, he's letting Stephon Diggs know. We around here, buddy. We ain't the basically the number one pass defense for no reason. So that's what's gonna make the offense really. It's gonna make them dogs because they're going up against the best pass defense every day.
Right. And I got a little tidbit here about this secondary that maybe people don't know. Like I said, I found it out myself. I found it very interesting, which may make a lot of sense of why this secondary is so cerebral. In high school, Tre'Davious White,
quarterback,
Jordan Poyer, and Micah Hyde all played quarterback.
Well, I was thinking about, I was like, how many more play quarterback? Look at Cole Beasley, quarterback. John Brown,
quarterback. We knew I knew John had to play quarterback at some point after those throws he was making last year.
Right. And I mean, we just need to do is check their roster to see how many guys play quarterback. Because if you play quarterback, whether it was high school, college, whatever, McDermott loves cerebral guys. All right, so you're super knowledgeable of the game, especially if you play quarterback at one point, and you have leadership qualities because a quarterback has to be a leader. A quarterback automatically has to be a leader. You know what I mean? Whether that's in this DNA or not, you're a quarterback of the team, so you're automatically the natural leader of that team. And you know, Tre'Davious White, you know, quarterback in high school, a very cerebral player. You know, I mean, hey, do Josh Norman play quarterback?
We need to find out. Hey, you got the inside source, you know. So you gotta ask him next time you run into him, you gotta ask him, did he play quarterback?
I asked Coach, I might ask him that tomorrow. I was like, Coach, how many players on your team play quarterback?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I gotta be careful when I ask because I know Coach full of surprises, and I don't never let no cat out of no bag by, you know, opening my big mouth. So, you know, I don't know. I got to be careful on what I ask. Man, some stuff got to go off record. I don't want to put him on blast and let the cat out of the bag. Then, you know what I mean? I got to, you know, be mindful on some things I ask. But I don't know. Maybe I might shoot with that. I mean, we could probably pull that up and do your research. I'm a research guy. I'll dig it up and see how many guys on our roster actually play quarterback.
Well, look at the screen. I mean, James Bilek and Cody Wells both just said Devin Singletary played quarterback too when he was younger.
Right. You know, and it's all starting to make sense on, you know, why it's a method to his madness in the defense. I'm going to bring in cerebral guys, you know, guys that, you know, that loves to think about this game, you know what I mean, and understands it. And they're going to soak that thing up and they're going to play it to the T. And it don't matter who you are. If you're Kansas City, if you're the 90 49ers with Jerry Rice and John Taylor, it don't matter. In this system, if we do it according to how this system is and everybody do their 1/11th out there on defense, if everybody do their 1/11th, you know, it's 11 guys out there, meaning everybody do their job, 1/11th, then, you know, the defense will be successful. It don't matter who you play. And they're going to prove that when Kansas City come to town. And they're going to like, whoa, they've been doing all this against everybody, putting up all the being so explosive. How come, you know, they come to Buffalo and they can't do that? Because, I mean, they're the top passing defense for a reason. Everybody thought when Baltimore came here last year, they averaging 40 points. You know, they eating hot dogs and pizza, you know, I mean, the third quarter game over type deal. And they didn't think that we was built to last against them, even though we were at home. We should have won the game. You know, we should have won that game. They barely struggled to score 24 points. I mean, we have our struggles as well, but nobody didn't think that we were going to hold them under 30 points, our defense, you know, and you know, that's a testament to our D. You go back and look at the numbers on how Baltimore just ran through teams, but when they played us, our numbers was consistent. You know, our offense didn't join the party, and that's going to be the biggest thing this year. It's what our offense do. Everybody is back together, you know, 1 year. And this is Josh Allen's second year. This isn't his third year because he didn't get a full season on being the guy. You know, he should have got that treatment coming straight in as a rookie. I don't care. If we take a guy top 10, you're my starter. You're my starter. I'm not even going to play around, talk about like we got Aaron Rodgers right now, and then we're going to sit him for a couple of years. We didn't have no Aaron Rodgers. So it wasn't no reason for him to sit in front of anybody, especially if I'm drafting him top 10. You know what I mean? So this is his second full season. I mean, just break it down. If in his first full season as a quarterback last year, he won 10 games. He won 10 games. It was his first full season under the helm at the quarterback. He won 10 games. You've seen a drastic improvement in all of his numbers. And this year is not going to be any different. He's gonna continue to improve. And he's going to be very dangerous this year, I think. So, you know, our offense definitely has to, you know, step up to the plate. And I'm going to keep stressing it until September 13th, you know, so we can finally get a chance to see this offense. And, you know, more and more we talk about it, the more and more they're going to be aware on doing something about it. So, you know,
but you know what? You said a point, and you said about Mario Addison. I want to go back to Mario Addison here because I mean, all the reports that came out today is Mario Addison had a huge day, and he showed why they signed him. So I want to talk about what he did today, how this is going to affect this rotation. Because we just mentioned would he be starting yesterday. We just talked about less than 24 hours ago. And it seems like every time we talk about something happens with that person next day. We talk about Deion Dawkins the next day, about Stingy next day he gets paid. Talk about Mario Addison starting or what his role is going to be next day. He comes out and just kills it. So we want to talk about Mario, what his role may be on this team, and what happened today. What did Mario show out and do?
Well, Mario, was a dog. Today. He came in and he bought his bone with him, and he had a bone to pick with that old line today. And he showed why. He showed his strength. He showed. I mean, he was been working his tail off in the all season, and it's just that he was just blown by guys today. I don't know if the linemen had cement in their feet or what, but he was just really blowing by guys, getting sacks, creating havoc. He bull rushed Quentin Spain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He bull rushed the big bank. All right. And, got a highlight on him. So, we want to see how the O-line is going to respond to that, in days to come, whenever they get the opportunity to get back in to lock horns like that, maybe tomorrow, who knows, but definitely Mario Addison was dog of the day.
Yeah. I mean, so what is his role going to be for this defense? Because I guess what we were talking about, he probably won't start because, like I said, you need someone a little bit bigger on that other side with having Jerry Hughes on this end. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, is he a situational pass rusher? Is he our version of what teams have done, like the Patriots and Colts have done with Jabal Sheard?
I don't know, man. By the looks of it today, that might could change. You know what I mean? It could change, but that's one thing I've been really racking my brain with. I mean, that rotation up front. I mean, who's going to start off there? I mean, last year, okay, you got Trent Murphy, Steyer. Then, you juggle between Jordan Phillips and Ed Oliver last year. Then, obviously, Jerry Hughes had his spot locked down on the right. So, okay, on the right, we got Jerry Hughes back. We got Ed Oliver over there, potentially Vernon Butler. And now you got Espinosa, Addison, Quentin Jefferson.
Okay.
So, I mean, is the competition to start off in that two-tech, is it Jefferson and Butler and Harry and Oliver, or is this how they're going to intertwine that one tech in that three spot? You know what I mean? So I think if I was a gambling man, I mean, Trent Murphy's still on his roster, and they did say he did have some bright spots today at camp as well. He did have some bright spots at camp as well. We got to throw that out there too. But if I was a gambling man, I mean, I go out there and see what my fast package will look like. I start Addison and Hughes out there on the edge. I'll see what that look gives me.
And, yeah.
And I got Espinosa, who's 6'6", 280. He's pretty stout with that size. You still have Trent Murphy. If he survives the island, same attribute guy. I think Trent Murphy shouldn't be on third down. I'm just gonna clearly say that. You know what I mean? State his case. I mean, let's just say what it is with Trent Murphy. All right. He's not third down. I don't want to see Trent Murphy. I don't want to see Trent Murphy. All right, we got too many guys right now that we should not see Trent Murphy. If Trent Murphy is to remain on this roster, I do not want to see Trent Murphy on third downs at all. We got Espinosa now that could be that guy on third down in front of Trent Murphy, and you still got Mario Addison. I don't, but on first and second down, I don't mind Trent Murphy out there on first and second down. Because I know he's stout in the run game. Passing game is really not his forte. I mean, he don't have the athleticism to, he's not twitchy enough. Right now those ends is twitchy. I mean, look at some of the stuff that Ed Oliver does, outside of football, how he trains. I don't see Trent Murphy on Instagram doing that type of stuff. He don't have that twitchiness, that quick burst of change of direction, and we need that coming off the edge. So, I just don't want to see Trent Murphy off that edge, So I'll go with a little NASCAR package to see how much havoc this is going to create because, we're always doing twist stunts and things of that nature as well to confuse the offense and, send a linebacker somewhere in between there as well. So, it's really exciting to see how this thing is going to layer out. But I'll go with it. I'll definitely go with it. I got pin your ears back, Addison, Hughes, Oliver, and it don't even matter who's playing alongside those three. You know what I mean? Let's go get it. You know,
Right.
basically.
Right. No, I agree. Like I said, I think I made the point yesterday that I would love to see Quentin Jefferson starting on that other edge. I think that's the guy. And it's funny because our guy Mud Dog, man, Leroy is he's been on this Quentin Jefferson train since the day we got him. I mean, I knew Jefferson, but he's the one who really educated me on him. Like he said, man, he can play every position on the line. There's nothing he can't do. He started against the run. He can pass rush, and he got a nasty attitude. So I want to watch the film, and the first one that pops up is him trying to jump in the crowd to fight the Jacksonville fans on that Sunday night game. And I said, oh yeah, I want this guy right here. This is my guy.
That's a dog. All right, that's a dog. When you a dog, the dog really don't care. He just, dog don't care. He don't give a damn. You know what I mean? He out here to play ball. You know, so that we do need that. We need fiery guys. That ain't gonna take nothing, not from fans, not from offensive linemen. You know, any of that stuff. So we got a nice, good rotation, and they've been doing a good job in that front office, bringing the type of guys in here. Like I said before, this rotation is going to be, one of the best we've seen in a while. So, like I said, got to put my money out there. So I'm going with Addison. I'm going with Hughes coming off that edge. Let's go get him. Linebackers, y'all make sure y'all feel.
You know what's funny is that sometimes you do have an undersized D-line, but a lot of times when you have an undersized D-line, when teams run the ball, yeah, you're a little undersized, but they fly to the football.
Yeah. Now, if we say, for instance, we playing in Baltimore where they use double and triple tight end sets, then okay, then I'm going to go with a more stouter guy out there and move those pieces around. I mean, you're going to see that on a week-to-week basis, or depending on who they play. You're going to see those type of different style of matchups. You might not see Addison start some games. You might not see Jerry Hughes start some games. And if you're Coach McDermott, you got Jerry Hughes, who's got 2 years left on the contract. He's a pass rushing extraordinaire. He's 31 years old, okay? But we know at the top of his game when healthy, he's one of the best around. So, as well as you built around Josh Allen, I feel that, they built the defensive line around Jerry Hughes, because when you look at when Jerry Hughes had Mario Williams, when they had the original cold front, right? When they had the original cold front boys with Marcel and Kyle and Mario, and it was Jerry. All four of those guys had double-digit sacks that year. So now when you look at the pieces that he's brought in around Jerry right now, kind of emulates that first cold front 1.0. Now this is what cold front 2.0 with, Addison and Quentin Jefferson and Ed Oliver and Vernon Butler and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Trent Murphy. You just throw Trent in there. He's still on the squad.
I don't want to do it.
Daryl Johnson, we throw him in there in the sauce. Mike Love, they in the sauce right now. So, who want to be a part of Cold Front 2.0, we'll see in a couple of weeks.
And if anybody gets cut, if anybody wants to join this Cold Front, negative 0.5, you can join. We got a spot for you over here. We'll take your expert analysis. Okay.
Absolutely.
But no, it's interesting. We're gonna start getting some questions, because actually we are getting some damn good questions coming through. I love this chat, man.
They chiming in, man. Billsboro, they chiming in today.
They be in it. I'm gonna recruit some of y'all, man, because y'all be coming with these questions. Someone asks a question, then somebody has an answer before we even get to it. I love this. That's it, man. Hugs.
Those guys on,
I gotta put hugs in the chat again. But no. So another two other people that showed, they were actually rookies. Zach Moss got a lot of burn today. Zach got a lot, and Isaiah Hodgins made his mark a little bit today with Gabe Davis being out.
Yeah.
What we got on the rooks, man? What we got on the rooks?
I'm just going to continue to look good. He has some good catches out there, and this goes back to what I used to tell you about Josh Allen, getting some bigger targets. Like, why we keep giving these small guys? Don't get me wrong. I love John Brown, Sauce, and Diggs, but their guys is 6 feet. Get it a bigger target. It's easy for Josh to see somebody that's 6'4", 6'5", 40 to 30 yards downfield, quite as you see this tape right here. That's proof of the pudding right there. He put that ball where only a 6'4", 6'5" guy could be. Guess what? Because I saw his big butt 40, 30 yards down the field. So I put the ball where only a 6'4", 6'5" guy can get it. Tell you what, I wish we had Isaiah Hoskins in what was that game we did, the Hail Mary, the Cole Beasley at the end? What game
that was that? That was New England.
That was New England, right?
New England, we 16, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just imagine if Isaiah Hoskins was in that situation right then and there.
Right now, I agree.
Who potentially can come up with that ball. You know what I mean? So, and look at Duke Williams, 10 targets in the playoff game.
Well, Duke was active for 3 games last year. He got, and I think he got 6 targets in the Tennessee game, 10 in the playoff game, and he only played a half a game in Miami, and I think he had got 4 targets.
Well, the Jets game, he had a solid Jets game, so that made him active for the playoff game, which he got more targets than Beasley and Smoke.
That's almost 20 That's almost 20 plus targets in 5 games.
Right, because Josh Allen, I see this big guy on the field. I can see him. He's 6'3", 6'4". So you clearly see the difference now that Josh Allen has some bigger targets to throw to. So, you're definitely going to see an increase in that completion percentage behind that. Dawson Knox better get his act together, though. You know what I mean? Gotta get together, Dawson. Fast, but you gotta, have those grippies. You gotta,
Right. You know what? Corey Buffalo makes a point too. We actually get to that point as well. The Bills did bring in 2 punters for
we was definitely getting to that on the tryout list. They need to try my man Jack Scrum out. He around.
They need to check my man Marquette King out, man. Stop playing around with that.
We got Buffalo product. We got Buffalo product that's that's played in the league, and he's right around the corner in Hamburg. You know what I mean?
I'm with you, but I'm telling you, I talk to Marquette every day, man. He wants to come to Buffalo, make it happen. Being with Marquette King, I'm telling you now, breaking down, Marquette King wants to play in Buffalo. He would love to play for Bills Mafia. Get it done. I'm telling you that because I got firsthand conversation with the man. He wants to come to Buffalo.
Make sure his agent calling him because they bring him punters in. You know what I mean? True. I might go and kick. Hey, they looking for punters.
All right. So Zach Moss, and then we'll get to these questions and a lot of responses. Zach Moss had a very good day today.
Yeah, it was Zach Moss day today. They wanted to get a glimpse out of Frank Gore 2.0. Imagine drafting Frank Gore, coming out of his rookie year. That's what you got out of Zach Moss today. Somebody that's going to be physical at the point of attack. Somebody, first and foremost, definitely going to press that hole. And, that's what the Bills drafted him for because he's real nosy guy. He'd like to get up in there between the tackles and, find somebody to run over. You know what I mean? And nothing but elbows and kneecaps and, fighting for extra yardage. And, he showed that today, and, he showed a good display of hands as well. He showed you that he can be an every down back. He definitely has the frame for it. And, what they love to see, he broke some tackles and, he had a nice 8-yard run. As you can see, that nice catch over the shoulder with Josh Allen putting it only where he can get it. And, that's just another element to his game that, we're going to see, especially with guys like Diggs and, our 3 amigos out there running routes. It's going to be hard for a linebacker to keep up with either, Motor or Moss, our M&M guys, right? I don't know who's playing. I don't know who's Peanut, but, they're pretty good.
Don't matter. I mean, get the ball in their hands. Like I said, it's going to be very hard for Brian Daboll to call run plays. I know he's gonna be tempted to throw that ball 50 times a game, man, because a lot of weapons out there. But I mean, you got the horses to get the job done. It's as simple as that. You got the horses to get the job done. But let's get to some of these questions because there's a lot of good questions here. Somebody wanted to know about Jason Stroud wants to know, curious, does anyone know what kicks Bass and Hauschka mixed so far in their battle? And actually, we got an answer from a man, James Bilak. For Hauschka, went 6 or 7. 2 or 3 from 50 plus, which is big. And Bass went 6 or 9.
Right. And hey, you got to suffer competition. But, what it's going to do is going to light a fire in Hauschka to say, hey, man, this ain't the first time I think they brought a kicker in, but
it wasn't nothing serious, though. This is serious.
This guy, so this is serious. We invested in this guy. We drafted him. So, this is putting the spark on everybody. I told when Brandon Beane had this draft, I asked him, now that the draft is complete, does this roster makes players play to their potential? And basically that's what it's doing right now. You know, you lighting the fire underneath guys that, you know, you're lighting fire under. Hey, we need to step your game up. We wasn't pleased with your play last season. You're under contract with us, right? Don't make us
machete. He ain't got the machete out.
don't make us do it. All right. So
That's great.
you know, we're lighting the fire underneath these guys, and you see that competition in Hauschka now because hey, he was 2 for 3 from 50-point range, you know what I mean, from 50 yards, you know what I mean. And Baz, he was pretty good. You know, he's a rookie. So I mean, as long as Hauschka is stepping up, he don't lose his job. So, you know,
right.
being said, it's making those guys play to their potential because next man up. If you're not doing your job, and how Coach McDermott saying, hey, you better find a way. Find a way, buddy. But yeah, that's out of the kicker competition right there. So it's good competition.
I like the fact that you bring the machete out every show. I like that. We used to have a guy with us used to bring the machete out, but his machete was dull. Yours is sharp. I like that. But hey, so let's see what other questions we got here tonight, because you guys on fire tonight. Cody Wells says Singletary played QB against a Lamar Jackson led team too, which is cool. And actually, he's right. They did in high school against quarterback versus quarterback. I think he said Lamar won that game as well. Jesse makes the comment, says, speaking of pass defense, I feel like Levi Wallace could find himself on a bubble this year. You know what? That's very interesting. If he is on a bubble, Levi Wallace's trade bubble, though, because he that's the guy that a lot of teams would covet or would trade for. Definitely having their system on their team if he doesn't pan out.
Levi Wallace won't get cut.
I know. I mean, I was gonna say it's no way you cut him because there'll be teams ringing your phone for him if you're not going to use him.
He's an NFL starter. I'm not going to cut an NFL starter,
right.
And he's a cheap NFL starter, so you're not going,
especially at corner.
I mean, no disrespect by saying he's cheap, but in the business term, he is. You know what I mean? He's a restricted, undrafted free agent. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, we're not going to get rid of that.
Right.
You know, he might not start. You know, but we know he's capable of starting. So I don't think Levi Wallace will be on the bubble. I think, you know, I was looking at, they only have 7 corners.
Yeah.
They only got 7 corners, so you know, I don't think any of them might
how many safeties we playing this year? I mean, it felt like on game day last year we took like damn near 8 safeties on each game day. So
but yeah, it's like that right now. We got like 8 safeties on the roster now. You know, so I don't know. This competition is kind of funny, you know, to see how things play out and how many guys do they actually keep on each position this year. You know, because you got those guys like a Tyron Jones who's holding a running back spot, but he's more so a special teams guy. So, you know, do you keep 5 running backs? That's going to take one out of the other position, thing. So, you know, it's quite intriguing to see how it all really going to play out because we got a lot of talent this year on the roster.
Right. I think you may answer this earlier, but Walter Ford asked Oliver's hip. Is he all right? He's good, right? He's good to go, right?
Yeah, he's good. It's just, you know, right now it's just precaution. You know, we don't want it to get any type of nagging injury to the point where he's missing the home opener. You know, it's just a sore hip. It's nothing too crazy to you know, get into, like, you know, like he's going to miss game or require surgery or anything like that. Just a sore hip, man, getting those motors moving a little bit than usual since the things kind of, you know, get sore. But in the line of business that he do and the type of drills that he does, those hips is pretty fluid. So he'll be fine. Ed Oliver will be fine.
All right. And James Bilek asks, what is going on with Dane Jackson? I mean, I haven't heard much from him in camp. We haven't heard much from the DBs, period, besides today with Micah Hyde getting the pick 6. And I mean, pretty much the defense showing up and showing out today. Dane Jackson, I mean, this is a guy, my personal opinion, but I think he's going to be one of those 4 permanent practice squad spots this year, you know, protected practice squad spots. What do you got out of Dane?
Out of Dane, you know, hey, they just out here just being rookies, learning, you know, the thing. But I think he's going to be a sleeper guy. You know, he has the size, you know, 6 foot, 195 pounds. Like I said, he was a special teams ace out of Pitt, so I think that's really where he's going to make his mark. But if you really kind of look at it, he you know, he kind of fits the Levi Wallace mold. So
Right.
I don't know. To answer the guy's question, I don't know. Is it sneaky to say that Dane Jackson could be Levi Wallace competition?
No, it's not. I mean, we know McDermott. If anything about McDermott, he breeds competition.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, today was. I mean, it was a good day. The defense showed up. The defense. I mean, they came to play. They showed that they, hey, we still an elite defense in this league. Cole Beasley had made a lot of nice comments about Josh this year about buying in and things as such. You're gonna see a lot of Cole Beasley, I think. And I think yesterday you had a question about the split carry. I don't know if we got to the question. I think I may have seen it later, after the show was off, about what you think the split of the carries would be between Moss and Motor percentage wise.
I see my boy Jason. Let's talk about Matt Turk. I had the opportunity at the combine to sit with his uncle, that played for the Vikings, and I'm sitting up here, and we just shooting it. We just shooting, right? And I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere. And Turk get up there, man. He throwing that thing up, man. Everybody going nuts. I'm like, man, we need this kid. Stuff like that make you go and watch the tape. Yeah. And I mean, he has quite the leg on him. I had him on my mock draft, but he ended up going back to school. So yeah, he's definitely going to be on the radar. I thought the Bills would have drafted him this year, but he ended up going back to school.
Now, what was he? Was he Matt Turk's nephew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember his dad. His dad was, his uncle was Jack too with the Redskins.
Yeah. Right, and he has a big leg. Those 25 reps at the combine made you go back and look at the tape. And he has an impressive stat line as well. So I was like, well, damn, the Bills might put a trigger on this guy. And he's strong. They like the strong guys. So
do you remember a guy? It was a guy just like that came out some years ago that the Cowboys had on their team named David Bueller. Mm-hmm. And the Cowboys end up actually having to cut him because his 40 time was like a 4.6 or 4.7 for a kicker. He was bench pressing with the linebackers, and they said he was a distraction. They tried. He was a kickoff specialist. He boomed everything out the end zone, but he just couldn't have the accuracy to be a regular everyday kicker. And they actually had to cut him because the dude was such a athletic freak. He was a distraction. They said. So
that's kind of weird. They better find something for that. Hey, just be touchback king for her or whatever. I don't care. Get him a coach, develop him. I mean, can you develop me? Come on, Dallas. That's what y'all doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, that was pretty much day 2 in a nutshell. I mean, you got anything else that you want to say about final thoughts before we get out of here?
Well, Duke Williams had to catch it today.
Over
rookie cornerback Ike Brown. Here it is. And everybody keeps saying, I don't know, Duke is going to make the team. I don't know what people are talking about. Duke Williams will make this team. Like I said before, you don't go to having 10 targets in a playoff game and then the very next year you're cut. So it's some real high expectations out there for Duke Williams this year, whether he knows it or not. So, I'm mad. I'm rooting for him. I'm definitely rooting for him because
and that leads us
no way impossible that. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I cut you off. You go ahead.
There's no way possible. You catch 10 targets in the playoff game and then you just don't make the team next year. That don't even make any sense, Duke Williams. So I'm quite sure Duke Williams is aware of that, and that's why he's making catches like that, like how he's supposed to against rookies out there. That's how he's supposed to do.
Right. So I mean, and this leads us to our last question tonight from Major Cole. With so many position battles, D-line, DB, wide receiver on the team, do y'all see the team keeping more than 6 receivers this season? If so, and speaking of the devil, does Duke sneak in or roll in with 6 and stack another position?
Well,
good question,
Duke make the team. Okay, you got the 3 amigos. Then you got Gabe. That's 4. Andre Roberts, special teams 5th. Hodgins 6th. And I say Duke gonna be that 7th guy.
I think in a season like this, you have to go with 7.
You gotta go with 7.
You got to expect some hammies to pull up this year. The way the training has been, you got to. You already see it across the league. But like I said, we alluded to yesterday, we have one of the best strength and conditioning staffs, if not the best in the entire NFL. We have the best weight room in the NFL, and we probably have the best training facility. Mr. Pagula's put that $12 million into it last year, or I think it was $17 million into it last year. So yeah. Jason Stroud says, "See y'all tomorrow." Good cast. I don't know, Jason. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. We may be back. We'll be back. Let's get to a last couple comments. James B. says Duke was never utilized throughout the season. I gotta agree. And then when we spoke with we spoke with Duke up at Batavia in the last summer, and he spoke of that. You kind of could hear the frustration that he wanted to see more time. He said Nick Lettieri says Duke is a practice player. He didn't like that in the playoff game. Hawkins win that last spot. It's very possible. Not disagreeing,
possible, but it's room for both of them to be on the roster. And we just named 7 guys.
Yeah,
there's room.
Because at this point, I'm gonna assume that Robert Foster is out just because of the injury again. So I mean, we're gonna see what happens with that. He may be out, he may be in. Who knows? But hey, guys, day 2 was in the books. I want to thank my guests for coming on. Mookie Hawkins, Bills writer from Wolfo 1080, Powered 96.5. Make sure you're getting over there and checking the guys out at the Wolfo Sports Report. After they go live every Sunday at 6 p.m. And that's in Buffalo, 96.5. So make sure that you're getting on that or checking them out. We'll see what happens day 3. It seems like the defense took the cake today. The defense definitely took the cake today. McDermott and the guys showed up. And we'll see what Brian Dable can what he's going to scrum up for that offense tomorrow and see if they could come back and punch the defense in the mouth. It's going to be a hard thing to do, a very hard thing to do. This is elite defense, no doubt about it. But hey, once again, I want to thank my guest, Mookie Hawkins, for coming on today. I want to thank all you guys for joining and watching the stream. We may be back tomorrow. Like I say, when things happen, we're going to go live. We're going to be live a lot more here at Cold Front. We got more guys joining the team. And once again, I always thank you guys for your input. And go Bills. We'll see what the defense does, And by the way, I mean I'm gonna put my Sean McDermott hat on, and I'm gonna get ready for camp tomorrow with my McDermott training camp hat. But we'll catch you guys tomorrow, possibly some point in this week. We'll catch you guys again, and we'll update you. As always, go Bills. Got my McDermott look. We gotta stay with it. Appreciate you guys as always. I'm JTM. Thanks for my guest, Mookie Hawkins, CFR. Make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitter links. The links are up there on the screen for Instagram and Twitter. The YouTube page is, we don't have a cover. We need to get to 100 subscribers. So if somebody can help us get to 100 subscribers, please help us get there so we can give a URL link. I'll put that link up after the show. And got a Madden giveaway too going on our Instagram account. But other than that, guys, day 3, pray for no injuries, pray for health. Josh Allen, go Bills. See you later.